What's up, guys? It is Saturday night. Just like I said, another boring, rainy Saturday night. And guess what? Figure I'd come on here, see what you guys were up to, fill you in on a few things. Um, yeah, all the our game against Halifax, which was supposed to be homecoming, got moved to Monday night. So we'll be playing Monday night football this week, 6 o'clock, Northeast Academy. Steve, that's got to be Brian. It's got to be Brian. Facebook user Brian. Brian Mullen. What's up, buddy? Um, yeah, it's Quentin. Okay. What's up, dude? It is Quentin. Quentin Odom, one of the voices of the Northeast Academy Eagles. And guys, this weekend's just been a dreary weekend here. You know, the tropical storm that formed out of nowhere. Was it Ophelia? I feel you, Ophelia. Um, a lot of rain, a little bit of wind, not too bad. I mean, just enough to make it nasty outside. Uh, Quentin, yep, we're gonna be ready for Monday night. It's gonna be a tough one Monday night, guys. It'll be a tough one for us. Halifax has got a really good team. I mean, they're big. They like to run, but our guys are capable of doing it. It should be a good game. Hopefully, it's going to be a good game. We'll see what happens on Monday night. Um, so last week I think I've got 11 of my NFL picks right. Not bad. 11 out of what? How many games was it? 16. 11 out of 16. So 11-5. That was better than 9-7. That was a little bit better than last week. Um, So this week, I've already picked the 49ers over the Giants. I've got it on my Yahoo pigskin picks, but I'm gonna go over. We're gonna go over the rest of the games. I'll give you my picks for the rest of the games. Tennessee and Cleveland. Cleveland without Chubb. Kareem Hunt. I know Kareem Hunt's back, but I got Tennessee in this one. What about and we'll talk about Nick Chubb in just a little bit. Some good news for Nick Chubb, which I'm glad to see. Atlanta, Detroit. Atlanta's 2-0. I saw in the power rankings some some power ranking for I don't know which one it was for, but one publication it was for, but they had the Falcons in the top 10 just because they're 2-0. I mean, they came back and won against the Packers. That's all good. Packers are not. I mean, the Packers are not the Packers of old. So, uh, give me a little bit before you throw the Falcons up there in the mix. Where just because it's 2-0, it's a long year. Give me a little while before you throw an unproven team like with an unproven quarterback like Desmond Ritter up in the top 10. Come on now. Saints and the Packers. Packers blow that lead against the Falcons last week. I had them picked last week. They're taking on the Saints at Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay on this one. Um, don't know why, but I got a good feeling about that. Broncos and Dolphins. Definitely going with the Dolphins. Sorry, Dalton Van. You know they had they the Hail Mary last week against the Commanders, and then the no call pass interference on the 2 point conversion, um, which was kind of, I guess, getting the Commanders another a call back for last year against the Giants. Yeah, I said that. Um, so yeah, I've got the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins beating the Broncos. Patriots and Jets. You know what? I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one. Zach Wilson looked like a man scared to death. He looked like Sam Darnold when Sam Darnold said he was seeing ghosts against the Jaguars a few years ago. But Zach Wilson he's not, they all heard somebody talking about Aaron Rodgers says he's going to come back for the playoffs. And I'm like, the Jets aren't going to make it to the playoffs the way they're playing right now. Great defense. And I like Garrett Wilson. I like the wide receiver for the Jets. I like Garrett Wilson, but he got to have somebody getting the ball. And unless they come up with an answer or get a veteran in there, Zach Wilson is not the answer right now. I don't know if he ever will be. There was a reason why they got Aaron Rodgers and just forgot about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's worried more about somebody's mama than he's worried about playing NFL football. The Chargers against the Vikings, battle of two underachieving teams that a lot of people had a lot of potential, and a lot of people were talking about it. Chargers scored all these points, no turnovers, and just haven't won a game. I think that's the first team in history hasn't won a game with all those points. I forgot how many points it's in the 60s, and they're 0-2. But Vikings, I don't think they catch foul. I know it's in Minnesota, but I'm going to Chargers here. Bills and Commanders. Oh, sorry, Commanders. I know this is the first time you went 2-0 in years, and but I think the undefeated streak comes to an end. Although that defense is starting to come around. Chase Young, all these people that count Chase Young out, I think he showed them a little bit last week. Let's put Quint's comment up here. Detroit is getting scary. Lions are my dark horse team. I don't see the Falcons as a threat for playoffs. Detroit has got some major playmakers, a good coaching staff, and something to prove. If Jets can figure it out and Wilson can just have some kind of revelation, he's got playmakers around him. Yeah, he's got plenty of playmakers around him, and I mean, granted, he won't be getting chased by Michael Parsons this week, because I think he had nightmares about Michael Parsons all week because he was steady in the backfield. But man, he just threw the ball one time, like he right to a Cowboy. And I'm like, are you freaking serious, dude? I mean, he threw it right to him. He's just like, I don't want this ball anymore. Take it. So yeah, we'll see. Detroit is definitely, Detroit blew a lead. Was it the first? No, last week. They blew a lead last week, and I don't know. That last week kind of disappointed with Detroit, but I'm still on the Detroit and the Campbell bandwagon. Houston and Jacksonville. Jacksonville gets a win. Houston's gonna be playing for a number 1 draft pick again this year. Panthers and Seattle. Don't know if Bryce Young is going to play. Might be better if he didn't. I think Andy Dalton is going to maybe playing. So Seattle, they get the win over Detroit. They kind of recover from that butt kicking they took from the Rams week 1. I got to go with Seattle here. I mean, Carolina just had to show me the defense is playing great, but your offense is not. And I mean, rookie quarterback, come on, give it a chance. Colts and Ravens, I mean, Richardson, I think he's out with a concussion. How about Odell? 3 weeks back into it, and Odell's out with an injury. He's out this week. All those people out there, Odell's going to do this. He can't stay healthy, guys. Baltimore gets the win, though. The Colts goes 3-0. Bears and Chiefs. The Bears had the worst week in football. What? Defensive coordinator resigned for personal reasons. I think the FBI raided his house. There was also some rumors that they raided Halas Hall, and which they said wasn't true, but who knows? I mean, there's a lot going on other than football outside with the Chicago Bears. And Justin Fields, the hype that built up around him all offseason is totally wrong. He missed a wide open read right across the middle. I mean, he just took off running. The guy had nobody around him on a slant, and it would have been a touchdown. The guy could have walked in for a touchdown, and Fields missed it. So all these guys out there saying, I think Dan Orlovsky, well, however you say his name, had him saying he was going to be top 3 in the MVP race this year. Is it a might be a Pee Wee League, but not this. I mean, he definitely is not right now. He's not an NFL quarterback, and you don't have all that time you used to have as an NFL quarterback to prove yourself. All right, let's see who is next. Cowboys and Cardinals. Cardinals blow a big lead against the Giants. I mean, a huge lead. And Cowboys come to town. I think this is a blowout. Cowboys, Diggs is out. The Cowboys gonna have to recover from that, but I don't think Arizona has the weapons to really push that issue any with Diggs being out. But the Cowboys defense with Michael Parsons and company just too strong, and they beat the Cardinals handily. Let's see, Steelers and Raiders. Steelers get a big win, a sloppy win. Not for the defense. Pittsburgh would not have won that game. I mean, T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, a touchdown apiece. I mean, in the first play of the game, Highsmith gets a pick six, and then he, the down 20. What was it? I forgot what they were down, but it was the winning score. Highsmith knocks the ball loose from Deshaun Watson. Maybe he had got a massage or something. His hands were slippery. Who knows? But yeah, he knocks the ball loose. T.J. Watt takes it in for the go-ahead score. That ended up being final score. Nick Chubb's injury. I want to talk about this a little bit, guys, because just like the cancel culture, and I don't talk a lot of politics, and I'm not really going to get into it, but every hit now that is causing an injury to a player, and I'm not just saying it because it was a Steeler making the hit. Every hit that causes an injury, there's these people out there that want to say that was a dirty hit. There was nothing dirty about Minkah Fitzpatrick hit on Nick Chubb. I mean, even let's see, Myles Garrett's came out and said it was nothing dirty. The starting safety, I forget his name for the Browns, has come out and said it was nothing dirty about it. It was a football play. Things happen like that. I mean, you're trying. This guy's close to scoring a touchdown. You're trying to make a hit. You good, and you're taught on a run play. You're taught from day one, tackle the guy low, tackle him at his knees. There was no way Minkah could have known what was going on the other side of that when he was making that play. So, if you want to say that's a dirty hit, by all means say it, but that doesn't make it true. I mean, you got guys on the Browns saying it wasn't a dirty hit. So if a Browns player is saying a Steelers player didn't make a dirty hit, then it wasn't a dirty hit. But I'm going to take the Steelers over the Raiders. Hopefully we can get some pressure on Garoppolo. And, yeah, I mean, I think this is Quentin again. It's football, man. I mean, watch the replay, and he won't try to hurt him. Just like, yeah, it's a football play. You can't always be in control of what happens or try to, knowing what's going on that field. So it is what it is. People going to say stuff like that. All right, Eagles and Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield leading the Buccaneers. Who would have thought the post Tom Brady era, the Buccaneers are 2-0, win their first 2 games with Baker Mayfield. Excuse me. They got the Eagles at Tampa, and Monday Night Football having double headers 2 weeks. This second week, are they going to do this all year? Maybe I missed the memo on this, but I don't know if they do it all year or what. But I got the Eagles over Tampa. It may be a close game, but I got the Eagles over Tampa. Rams and the Bengals. Word coming out: Joe Burrow may not play. That calf injury may keep him out. So I think, who was it they signed? Used to be the backup for the Bengals. A.J. McCarron, kid from Alabama. They signed him this week because he's familiar with the playbook, and they don't know if Burrow can go. If he doesn't go, the Rams get the win over the Bengals at Cincinnati. So that's my picks for this week. I want to take a minute here, and I don't know if he's out there listening, but there's a guy that's been a big supporter of all my podcasts since day one. Well, not since day one, but we got to know each other through another podcast group, and he lives in Australia, the land down under, and he started his football season yesterday. And this guy is a great guy, and I want to take a minute just to recognize him. And I don't know if he's listening or not, but he started it. I don't know how old Jack Pinocchio, and he started his. I don't know how old Jack is, or I call him Pinocchio. Hold on one second, guys. Come on. Okay. I don't know how old Pinocchio is, but he's playing. I guess it's a semi-pro football league over there. He plays safety, and started his game last night. Started his first game last night, and sent me a picture. And I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope he doesn't mind showing it. But me and Jack share a love of wrestling. And I don't know if you guys can see that. That's Pinocchio doing his best Road Warrior Hulk makeup job before the game. They lost last night, but Pinocchio he plays safety and plays safety, and he made some tackles, which he said, I shouldn't have been making all those tackles. And he showed me some video of one of the tackles he made. So you guys, this will be a constant updated thing for me, I guess, with Jack's team. I forgot what their names are. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna tell you what their names are so you guys can I'm looking back at our looking back on our conversation. The Gladiators. So yeah. And as soon as I thought about it, the first thing I thought about was the clip from the Airplane movie. Joey, do you like movies about gladiators? And he knew exactly what I was talking about. Pinocchio is a great guy. I met him through the Shout It Out Loud cast, the KISS podcast. Tom and Zeus over there. We are both big fans of KISS. And yeah, Jeff, Pinocchio is a great guy. I can't say enough. But good luck to them. That's a good thing. It's football actually gaining international status. I didn't know there was football in another country. Well, see, this is like I don't know how much. I remember, when I first got to talking to Jack, he was we talked about football. I told him I was a coach, and he said, yeah, he played, but they don't get to see much football over there, not as much as we do. He's a big Rams fan. And I actually, with when we started getting the fantasy football league up, I was going to get him in there, but he was like, he wouldn't be able to keep up with it. Excuse me, like we do. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know he's a fan, like a Rams fan, but I don't know how much is really over there. But maybe Jack's listening. He can tell us. But hold on, I'm gonna see if he can. But yeah, if Jack pops in here, maybe he can fill us in. But yeah, so that's the NFL picks for this week. But listen, there's another. Let's see. while I'm on the NFL, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, has not lost a regular season game since he became a starter in the NFL last year. And who knows, and yes, I'm saying this, Eagles fan, who knows what happens if he doesn't get hurt early in that playoff game in the NFC Championship game against the against 49 against the Eagles, 49ers. Who knows? You may be talking about the biggest underdog story since Kurt Warner. I mean, I think Kurt Warner's got him beat a little bit because Kurt Warner wasn't drafted. He was drafted last, so he's been on that team. But Kurt Warner was a little different. He did not get drafted. Pinocchio is going to hop in here in just a second. So, Jack, if you could. Jack, if you're in there, we were just wondering if you're. I don't know if you have seen any of the comments up here, but we wanted to know how football is. You know, Quint actually put this comment up, and I'll put it up again. How big is American football in Australia? I mean, because I know you had told me you don't get to see many games over there, but how big is American football over in Australia? And you know, if you're in here, we'll. I don't know if he got in here in time, but we'll bring it up. But he's going to let me know when he gets in here. As far as college football goes, big day in college football today. Of course, if we look at looking at the top 25 scoreboard, and let me reboot this. Wow, Georgia and UAB. Georgia's number one. Beating UAB 14-7 halfway through the second. Texas all over Baylor 20-3. Who Nears? Who is the Nears? I know this ain't Quint pulling for another team. Go Nears. Ohio State, Notre Dame, scoreless late in the second quarter, just about halftime at 34 seconds. Penn State is beating Iowa 10-0. I know who you're talking about. Penn State over Iowa 10-0. LSU trailing Arkansas at the half 13-10. Washington State up on Oregon State at the half 28-14. Let's see who else we got here. Florida beating Charlotte 16-7. Pittsburgh up on the Tar Heels. Okay, Jack. I don't see Jack's comments. Hold on. Let me see if I can check my other place, because sometimes for some reason StreamYard doesn't show up on my stuff. Apparently, an ECU player got seriously injured at this game. ECU's up 30-0. All right, I'm gonna check my other spots where the hold on, Robbie Brown, and I see your post now. Okay, Jack said in Victoria is big. They have enough to have a few division, and they train full games against each other. Where he lives in Canberra, they have only 3 teams, but Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland is big. So evidently it's getting that that recognition now. It's going to be big. But Australia's always seemed like such a cool place to me, you know, because I'm a Kiss fan, and Kiss had a big era over there in Australia. They are big in Australia. Back when the Unmasked album came out, Dynasty and Unmasked came out, they were huge in Australia. And I would have loved to have been over there at that time, but seems like a cool. Maybe I'll have to go visit Jack over there. Kiss Symphony, exactly. The Live 4, I think that's what it was. The Live 4, the Kiss Symphony, which was okay. I like that. Some of the stuff up there was a little too over top, but man, the first time I heard Detroit Rock City off that Kiss Symphony with a symphony orchestra behind it, it was freaking awesome. Pinocchio, you were there, right? See, now some of your stuff coming in. You were there. That's awesome there. The fact that, and Jack's been on our show before. Jack, all right. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, it's not on your end. It's Alaska Wi-Fi. Yeah, you're probably right about that. So sorry about that, guys. We are back in. It looks like we're back in order. Um, trying to reload my top 25 schedule. Yeah, that's cool that Jack was at that uh, Kiss Symphony. Let's finish out this top 25. Stuff was in action. Uh, yeah, Carolina and Pitt, 14-7 Pitt. I know some Carolina fans will be upset about that. Southern Cal and Arizona State later tonight, or Cal and Washington. Games that already completed in the top 25. Prime time. Prime time ran into a roadblock today. Prime time got canceled today. Um, they ran into a buzzsaw called Oregon. And look, let's just get clear this right up. I am becoming a fan, not a fan of the Colorado team, but Deion Sanders' outlook. And I don't know if it's an act or what. I hope not. But his outlook on everything right now, from what I've heard him say, I'm liking. I mean, Deion, I wasn't a fan of Deion back when he was in the NFL. Um, I just want, I like guys that just shut their mouth and play ball. And Deion was the exact opposite of it. He could play ball, but he ran his mouth a lot. But the team he's put together, I was skeptical, and even after the TCU win, when everybody was like, "Oh gosh, they're on the way. They're going to do this. They're going to do that." Yeah, pump the brakes. I said, if you remember that, guys, I said, pump the brakes on Colorado having this Cinderella year. They've got to play Oregon. They've got to play USC. And Oregon's coach was out to prove a point today. And the people that had problems with his pregame speech about they're out there playing for clicks, we're playing for wins. And saying some of the things he said, dude, yeah, give it a rest. If that had been anybody they played but Deion, you guys wouldn't have said a word. I mean, that stuff goes on all the time. The camera happened to be in the locker room. He's out there to motivate his he's out there motivating his team whichever way he can do it. Breaking score right now. Elon 28, Campbell 24. It's got to be Quint there. But yeah, he's trying to motivate his team for a big game, and he did a good job of it. And he told right before the half, I think it was 35-0 at the half, and he told them we got more left, and which it ended up being 42-6, but really those 6 points weren't. That was garbage time. I mean, there was nothing. Would it have been different if Travis Hunter had played? Who I don't know. I mean, they may not have scored 42 points, but Oregon was the announcers. It's a good story. The whole thing with whole thing with Colorado and Deion is a good story. But these announcers, I don't know if they've been programmed to make it. They were making excuses for why Colorado was losing to Oregon, and I'm like, they're losing to Oregon because Oregon is a better team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Oregon is a lot better than Colorado. It's not. I mean, Deion's got a good thing going there, and I think if he builds on it, I mean, a lot of talk about he may be a candidate for an NFL team. I don't know about that. I think he wants to motivate college kids, but I don't know. College plays. Deion can make Colorado into a winner, and somebody made a comment about the guy, the Oregon coach's speech before the game, talking about if he wants to see a national championship, Colorado has one. They don't. Come on, guys. Stop playing that. If you were a coach, you'd be talking the same way. I mean, there's things I've said to motivate my players. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it or anything, but you say things, you use points like that to get them motivated. So give it a rest on that. But yeah, Deion after the game said that was nothing but just a plain old fashioned butt whooping that we took. He said their coaches were prepared. Obviously, our coaches weren't, and included himself in that. So he's very humble about it. I mean, he knows that they are they're not ready yet. I mean, this is a young team, and this is going to be a process. If they're going to make it, it's not going to happen overnight. People fell in love with that story, wanted to see it. And a lot of you guys out there worried more about Colorado than the teams I see you guys have been pulling for all this time, which it kills me. I mean, you've been fans of these teams forever, but you're posting more about Colorado than you are about your own team. So fall in love with that, get on that bandwagon. But I like the team. I like what he's got out there. He just needs to build on it some more. So I'm not anti-Deion by any means. So I see Rutgers and Michigan. Michigan all over Rutgers 31-7. Harbaugh comes back from that suspension. Utah beats UCLA 14-7. I expected that to be a little bit more high scoring game than that. Florida State, wow. Florida State in overtime over Clemson 31-24. Clemson's kicker missed a 30-yard field goal at near the end of regulation that would have won the game probably. So and what is Dabo thinking now? He's 0-2 in the conference. I don't remember that happening since he's been there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember that happening. Alabama gets back on track, 14-10 over Ole Miss, which I honestly thought Ole Miss would probably beat them. And obviously I was wrong. Eric, you missed, we talked about your Cowboys earlier. How about them Cowboys? Oklahoma gets Cincinnati 20-6. Miami, Florida routes Temple 41-7. Duke, what is Duke like? Is Duke 4-0 now? over UConn, 41-7. A team that NC State struggled with early in the year. Duke routs them 41-7. This should be interesting how Duke, what kind of team we see from Duke when they get into, they beat State. Interesting when they get into the heart of that ACC schedule to see how they perform. Then they're ranked 18th now, and maybe they might go up a little bit this week. Tennessee recovers from that loss last week. They beat UTSA 45-14. So that's the college stuff. Let's see. Nick Chubb. We talked a little bit about Nick Chubb earlier. Apparently, he got some good news today. This should not be a career-ending injury. It's gonna he tore his ACL or his MCL1 and everything. I think this is Quint saying that Duke's got a legit shot at the ACC. I'm cautiously optimistic with Duke, because Florida State is tough, and Clemson's going to be tough too. But they've got that win over Clemson already. They always have a good game with Carolina most of the time, especially when they got a good team like they do this year. But I think they're up there in the talk. They're at least talked about right now, legitimately talked about right now. What else are we going to talk about? Nick Chubb, like I said, he's I don't know how that knee wasn't just shattered, and being that he did it to that same knee in college. I mean, that's incredible that knee wasn't tore slam up. So let's get away from the sports thing for a while. There's some anniversaries in the music world this week that I'm gonna talk about. First of all, 1983, I believe. This album came out, I think it was yesterday. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. You look at the picture on the back. Sorry about the glare. Yeah. I remember this was my introduction to Motley. And I've been a fan ever since. I ain't always liked everything they've done, which, I mean, that's like that with any group. And I don't agree with what they did to Mick Mars as far as he's out. And they're like, oh, he's doing this, doing. First they retired him, and then all heck broke loose with what really went on. But yeah, Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, just an awesome album, one of their best. And then also, I think this was in 1983 as well. Yep. You know how big of a Kiss fan I am. Kiss, Lick It Up comes out. The first album without makeup. They also, 40 years ago, unmasked. And Kiss didn't waste any time this week. They put out a special edition vinyl came out this week that you could pre-order. I don't know how many people got that with it. You could get the vinyl. It was actually a regular 33 of the album. Then they have 245 singles, and then a hoodie that you could get. And then 45 years ago this week, these guys came out. The solo albums. All four of these came out the same day. You guys hear about Guns N' Roses. Well, they released two the same day. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 the same day. Kiss released 4 the same day. And you know, people say what they want to about your dad's got those. Yeah, Yeah, those have been in my collection for a while, and I've actually got an extra uh, Paul album. So Mr. Chris is a Kiss fan. Um, but yeah, not only that, Kiss had a lot going on, and this is probably not the best one. But yeah, I remember the reunion tour when they got back together, being so excited because you know they're back in makeup in its original four, and then they started talking about after tour they're going to do an album. The four member original guys will do an album, and you didn't have the internet back then. You just heard it through like magazines and stuff like that. So this comes out, Psycho Circus, and you see the cover changes. And look at the back, and you see they got not their names but their characters: the Star Child, the Catman, Space Ace, and the Demon. This came out. When did this come out? It was it had to be 90. Was it 98? 98 or 99? And that was actually yesterday was whatever the anniversary was. I think it was 98 because I think it was 25 years ago, 25th anniversary. And they did a picture disc offer that you could get off Kiss Online there. But so yeah, a lot going on with the Kiss stuff, um, Kiss anniversaries, and there's more to come. The end of the road, right down the line. If they end it, Kiss, you know how Kiss is. They're gonna have three. They've had one farewell tour already. What was that? 24 years ago. So we'll see how that goes. But I really think it's going to be the end this time, as far as what you see with Kiss is it won't be a major touring band. Um, so some of the stuff I actually started watching a little bit on my Netflix, taking advantage of my Netflix for once, and I started watching a documentary this week that you guys, if you're wrestling fans, especially, you want to check it out. It's called The Wrestlers, and it deals with Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was used to be like a farm, I guess the farm system for WWE at one time, but it's not anymore. I think Ohio Valley used to put out like Cena, Batista, Randy Orton was there, Shelton Benjamin. I think Brock Lesnar was there at one time, but that was when WWE had their hand in that. And now it is an independent organization, and it's ran by a former WWE star, ECW star Al Snow. And it deals this documentary deals with you get behind the scenes with him, with the wrestlers. You get to see I've watched 3 episodes now, and I think it's 7. And it's talking about you get to see the co-owners who know nothing. They're guys that think they know about wrestling, but they don't. They're wrestling fans, but they don't know a lot about wrestling. Al Snow, you see right now, you're seeing there's a little bit of a conflict, and you can tell Al Snow doesn't really care for these guys too much, or them come, not care about it, but care about them coming in and pushing it on him that, and he's like, I know more about wrestling than you guys will ever know. And Al Snow, I mean, he does a great job with it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think you guys would if you check it out. Also, there's a show that's on. I think it's on Stars. Heels. This is the second season. Um, they do a good job with that too. This isn't a documentary. This is actually a show that goes episode by episode dealing with the issues up there. And I mean, it's got a storyline to it, but it's pretty good. I've watched. Oh, I'm almost through. I think I'm almost through season 2 of that. So check out Heels and the Wrestlers. if you want to, guys. I think you'll enjoy it. So last week, the last 2 weeks, we've actually done a little thing up here, football card breaks. And I bought 2 more packs of there. And look, I bought these on Friday, and I've saved them. I've actually saved them for tonight, believe it or not. So this is a pack of Donruss from last year. So we'll see what I got on this. If I get anything big, we got the Brock Purdy last week, which was pretty cool. So let's see, Charles Woodson, Mark Ingram. These are retro guys. Joe Thomas, Tim Patrick, Minka Fitzpatrick, Juan Thornhill, the Ghostbuster Sam Darnold, Peyton Manning, Cam Akers, who just got traded to the Vikings, Bud Dupree, Ronnie Lott, a lot of guys that retro guy, Penny Sewell, Laramie Tunsil, DeAndre Hopkins, Adam Thielen, Daniel Jones, Tremaine Edmonds, Terry McLaurin, Joe Mixon, Trayvon Diggs, Josh Allen, Kenneth Gainwell. We're getting the rookies in a minute. Okay, here comes the rookies. Lewis Sin, never heard of him. Alec Pierce, no. Cam Taylor Britt, no. Oh gosh, an old Legend series, Jamal Lewis from the Ravens. Woohoo. Let's see, Jamal Williams, press proof. What's that? Dalton Schultz. Oh, 2 good ones at the end for me, at least. TJ Watt. He's probably he is one of the best defensive players in football right now. And then DeMarvin Leal, who was a Steeler. That's his rookie card. So not the best pack, but it is what it is. So we got one more. This is actually score from 2023. What happened to bubblegum and cards? Why don't they do that anymore? Does Topps still do that? I haven't bought Topps cards in a while. All right, so CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Conklin, Devontae Smith, Deontay Johnson. I think I've got this pack before, guys. Aiden Hutchinson, Kyle Pitts, Brett Favre, Taysom Hill, Jamal Adams, Darren Waller. Jeez, this name, guys. Equanimous St. Brown. And believe it or not, guys, if you read that up there at the top, that is his name. That's an unusual name. Jimmy Ward. Josh Downs, Carolina. Clayton Tune. Bryce Ford Wheaton. Chase Brown. Brian Branch from the Lions. Michael Mayer from the Raiders. Tyon Evans. Let's see. Isaiah Simmons. CJ Stroud. Who else? Potential Quentin Johnson. And that's about it. So not the best packs this week, guys. Maybe we'll do some more next week. We'll see. But guys, I'm getting some episode ideas up. I'm actually starting to come up with some episode ideas. So I will be back soon. I will be back soon. And maybe showing up on some other podcasts. Hint, some guys out there. But I'm doing a ECU football podcast. I'm actually like a co-host. So I don't have to do the producing and all that, which makes it a lot easier on me to try to get back in the swing of things for right now. And then eventually I will get the podcast back recording episodes again, both of them. It's just been, like I said, it's been a tough time, and I know things are going to get better, but right now it's just not. It's not the time for me to come back just yet. Next month, I will be. This is my last month in my 40s, so yeah, it's kind of. I'll be 50 on October 16th. So maybe that'll be the relaunch date. I don't know. It's crazy. It's weird. Um, it's just weird that I'm going to be 50, and it's like over half your life's over for sure. I don't think I'll live to be 100, but hopefully I will, and hopefully I'll be in my right mind. But yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to 50 because a lot of people don't make it to that. So anyway, guys, check out the back episodes of On the Fly and the Final Score. You can check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen. Podchaser, Good Pods. I think Stitcher is gone now. But yeah, just check us out. And please give us a 5-star review. That would help more than anything. Unless you want to give me like $1,000 or something like that to go towards getting new stuff up here. I want to make donations to the podcast. That would be cool. But we'll be doing these updates. It's easy for me to do these updates and just kind of wing it and go by what you guys are talking about, what you guys want to talk about. ECU gets a win 44-0 over Gardner-Webb, so that's a final. They get their first win of the year, which, yeehaw, great. I'm glad to see. Glad to see they got a win. Just been coming. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. You guys have a great Saturday night. Hopefully the rain will be out of here tomorrow, and hopefully you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time on The Fly.